I'm Imogen Ledger. I'm from Kent. I live in Bournemouth right now. I go to uni in Bournemouth. Today I'm feeling good, a little bit tired, but pretty calm.
How did your journey with mental health start?
I was around 13, 14, and I was having quite a few issues at home with my family. It started taking a toll on my mental health. And yeah, my journey continued until around age of 18. It's been a very up and down journey. The beach helps a lot, actually, just going for a walk along there.
What sort of coping mechanisms did you have? If you were feeling down, what would you do?
Usually writing, that was the main thing. I got into writing poetry, and that helped for me to just express like overwhelming feelings I was having. Reading as well, watching films, there was a lot of distraction. I started exercising later on, like going out for walks, and that definitely like helped a lot, as well as talking to my mum or my friends.
My name's Riona. I'm from Leamington and I'm feeling okay.
How do you support a friend who is struggling with their mental health?
It's hard because you don't want to be overbearing. You don't want to make them feel like they're any less just because they're struggling. So you just have to make sure that they're comfortable with communicating what they want to communicate, but don't make them feel bad if they don't want to say everything straight away.
What sort of signs that a friend may be experiencing mental health issues?
If they change habits that you're not used to them expressing, so like they are social but then all of a sudden they're retracting, or if they were talking about one thing and then it just completely stops being mentioned, you can tell it's like small things like that which can build into something bigger. Or if they're indulging in habits that aren't exactly healthy for them.
Do you think a person's mental health issues affects a friendship, and how would you cope with that if so?
You would like to think it wouldn't, but sometimes it can, due to the fact that if they are reluctant to speak to someone, it becomes a lot of pressure on yourself to take it all on, and you start deteriorating not only the friendship in a way because you know you can't give them the help that they need because you're not fully qualified or equipped to do so, but you don't want to leave them in a place where they feel like they can't have anyone.
What were your initial thoughts of counselling, and did they change once you started?
Well, I didn't know much about it at first. It was my dad that suggested it. I wasn't very sure. I was a bit nervous talking to someone I didn't know, but I actually found it was very helpful because they don't judge you, they don't know you, so you can just say what you want to say and, you know, they're not going to repeat it to anyone. So I definitely did think it was helpful.
Is counselling beneficial to you?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say it did help a lot, like probably helped the most out of everything. But it was mainly her just asking me questions, me like opening up about, you know, childhood, family issues, my mood swings, and she would like offer coping mechanisms.
I started off with Dorset Mine nearly 8 years ago as a volunteer and got recruited and then kind of end up staying here.
I'm Craig. So I've been part of Dorset Mine since 2017. I came in as a volunteer. I did a public speaking event. One of the ambassadors at the time was at the event and told me to get in contact with the charity and be like, they need your story, they benefit them.
What would you say are the benefits of counselling?
It gets your internal voice spoken. So what I mean by that is we all talk to ourselves and we all put ourselves down. And what it gives us a chance is to vocalise those things to someone else, and for them to not analyse, but to kind of give like a second opinion on, or another perspective. Like if you're just negative all the time, just badgering yourself with it, someone will be able to take that and flip those over, and all these thoughts will be, just turned on their head basically.
Do you ever still have down days, and if so, what would you do?
Yeah, definitely. But I think instead of just, you know, laying in bed, just feeling it and, you know, kind of drowning in it, I just have to force myself to get up, like do something, go out for a walk, like go to the gym, go and speak to someone. I rarely stay in my moods for as long now because I know how to deal with them a lot better.
What would you say to anyone dealing with mental health issues?
I'd say just reach out because I know it's hard and it can feel like, you know, you're alone and no one really cares and no one's going to understand, but you don't realise when you do tell people who love you, they do understand. Sometimes they could be going through the same thing and they're not opening up. So it does really help to speak to people, and also just don't have the mindset that it's going to be like this forever, that you're always going to feel like this, because that's not helpful and it's not true. Like, things can change.